Perfect. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Rose, and I am owner of Pivotal Steps LLC. I'm a business consultant that helps inspiring entrepreneurs start and launch their business through financial literacy strategies. So a little bit about me. I've been in retail banking for over a decade, and I transitioned into entrepreneurship back in the pandemic. And I launched a trucking company. Totally different from being in retail banking, but I was able to transfer my skills from retail banking into the trucking industry, and we had a really good year, first year in business. So what I do as well is that I teach other entrepreneurs how to make sure that they're setting up their business foundation really strong so that they can survive, one, and also make a profit, because a lot of people are starting these businesses, but as you can see, they're not lasting. And I'm here to lower that rate and make sure that we are launching profitable businesses. So here we go. So I'm gonna be talking about building a business foundation. So I want you to think about this. When you see a house being built, right? They don't just throw on the roof. They don't just put up the walls. It starts with the plan. So when you're starting your business, you have to have a plan. I know we get a little bit intimidated when we hear about business plans, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be just a paper with just the name of your business, what you're gonna be doing, who you are as a business owner, who you wanna sell to, and how much your product costs. Boom, right? So simple. We don't have to make it harder than it needs to be, right? So I want you to start with the plan. So a lot of us have our plan, we just never taken the time to write it down. Think about it. Like, what's the vision that you see for the business that you're building, right? Take it out of your head, put it on paper. Now for all my artists out here, you know what you could do? You can draw your business plan. It doesn't have to be written out. Be creative, think outside the box. If you're a photographer, maybe your business plan is full of pictures, right? You don't want to be like everybody else. You want to set yourself apart, and how you do that is through your skill set that you have. So don't think that you have to box yourself in. Think outside the box and be creative. All right, so you got the plan, right? The next thing you're going to do when you're building a house is that you're going to start with the foundation, and that's when we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. So from working in the bank, a lot of things that I have seen that people don't think about is, one, what are you going to name your business? Why is naming your business so important? As entrepreneurs, the name of our business or brand can either make or break us. So I want you to think about that. So when you are going for funding from a lender's point of view, if you have a business that's in a high-risk industry, you necessarily don't want to have that in your business name, right? We don't want to let them know off rip that, hey, I'm dipping dabbling in something that's a little risque, but I want you to still give me some money. No, you got to think smarter than that. So when naming your business, stay away from some high-risk things. Like, I'm going to give you some examples. One is investments. The bank gets a little scary when they hear investments in your business name. Why? Because it's risky with investments. Another one, sorry to say it, real estate. The bank is really scared of real estate. Yes, they'll lend to you, but as a new entrepreneur, you really want to be careful about making sure that you don't have real estate in your name, because they will kind of blackball you unintentionally. And another few industries that we don't like is, one, trucking, which I'm in that high-risk industry, right? So you can still get into these industries even though they're high risk. I just want you to have the education and knowledge to know what you're up against. So that's why you're gonna have to have everything in order when you go to the bank. And another one is gambling. And then the new industry out here now is marijuana, right? It's legal, but the banks are still not really equipped to bank anybody that's in that industry. So I want you guys to be mindful, right? So back to business names. When you're thinking about a business name, it doesn't have to be exactly what you do. It could be creative. If you have a legacy that you're building, maybe it's your grandmother's name, right? Maybe it's your surname. That's perfect. You don't have to have, like, if I'm selling shoes, I don't have to be Shoe Haven. I could do something different, right? I could be whatever I want. So take this time to be as creative as you want. But before you go and say, hey, that's my business, that's my brand, and I'm gonna go get the social media handles, I want you to do a search, and I need you to search the uspto.gov website, and that is the National Trademark Registry, to make sure that the name that you are choosing for your business is not already taken. Because I cannot tell you how many entrepreneurs had got cease and desist orders because they had started a brand that, you know, they're all here on social media saying, hey, this is my brand, but somebody already owns that brand. Or what happens is, because you don't have your paperwork in order, someone sees your brand and sees that it's doing really well. They go up and look on that website to see that you didn't trademark it. What they do? they go after it and they go take it from you. So you want to make sure that you are protecting your brand and your business. So make sure you do that search, okay? So the next thing you're going to do, now everybody thinks, okay, I'm going to go register my LLC. We're nowhere near there yet, right? So when you are building a business foundation, one brick at a time, right? So we just searched Google, we searched the National Trademark Registry, we looked at social media, nobody's using that brand name. Okay, I don't own it yet, I still have a lot of things that I need to do. And what you're gonna do to build a credible business, before you even go to try to register your business, you wanna make sure that you know, where is my business gonna be located? Am I gonna be doing it out of my home? Like a lot of us entrepreneurs, we do that, right? But here's the thing. One, I want to let you know that when you register a business and you're using your home address, it's public record, right? So now everybody knows where you live, right? If they know how to search it, someone like me, I know how to search it, I know where you live. Two, now when you're going for lending, because you want to grow your business, maybe there's a building that you want to purchase, maybe there's a vehicle you want to get for your business, you go to the bank and say, hey, I want a business loan. They go do their research and be like, hey, this is a home address. We really can't give you $50,000. Maybe I'll give you $5,000, right? So you're kind of capping yourself on how much money you receive, because they're looking at it as that you're not taking this business as serious as it should be. So how do you avoid that, right? This is what you do. You go get a virtual office. Very low cost, and it gives the idea that you are this well-established business because you have an office space. Now there's co-working spaces that you can get, or they're just 100% virtual addresses. The key that here is to make sure whatever virtual address that you get is that it's attached to an actual building, right? Because there's a lot of virtual addresses that are just a mailbox. You don't want that. No PO boxes allowed. That's an absolute no-no. You want something that's attached to an actual building. You do not have to have office space in that building. You just want to use their address, and that's absolutely fine. So you have to spend a little bit of money up front before you're ready to start your business. I jumped around, but I want to bring it back a little bit because I was talking about building a business foundation, and the reason why we do this is because it's all about credibility, right? Credibility is being trusted, and you want to be trusted not only by your customers, but by the people, maybe your future shareholders, the investors that you may take on into your business. You want to make sure that you're building a brand that people can respect, grow to love, and grow to love. So I want you to think about those brands like Nike, Amazon, what else is the big Apple, right? A lot of times we trust those brands, we respect them, we love them, we're a fan of them. So anything that they put out, normally we buy them. And that's what you want when you're starting your business. So that's why I'm telling you these steps to do, not because I want to send you through hoops. I just want to make sure that you're building a brand that's going to last, right? We all hear about generational wealth. This is how you start to build it. So let me get back to it. So in the preparation stage, I have a checklist for you, right? So it's building your business. We talked about setting up your address. We talked about doing your name search first, right? The next thing you're going to do before you even go to register your business is that you're going to secure a professional email address. What's a professional email address? It's an email address that does not say at Gmail, at Yahoo, at AOL. It actually has your business domain name. So my business is Pivotal Steps, but I actually have a brand which is called Rose Effect. So my business email is info@roseeffect.com, right? So when people email me, they're emailing me to my business domain name. So it's pretty much I'm securing my online real estate. It's giving the idea that I am a big business, which I am. I'm a small business acting real big, and I want you to too. The next thing that you're gonna do is secure a business phone number. I know. You have a cell phone already, I get it. But do you really want your customers calling you on your personal cell phone late at night, having that intimate access to you? No, you don't. So you want to secure a business phone number, and there's things like Google Smart Line. There's also Ring Central that you can use to do that. You absolutely want to stay away from Google Voice, because although Google Voice is free, it is not the most professional telephone number to have. And from the eyes of a lender, we don't like that, okay? And I wanted to pause because a lot of you might be asking, why you keep on talking about from the eyes of the lender? Think about it. When you're starting a business, the number one thing is capital, access to capital, especially as a minority woman. access to capital is very hard. And I want to make sure that my brothers and sisters know that in order for us to get the capital that we need to make sure that we are operating these businesses as a business. And these are the things that legitimate business holders do. So that's why I want to make sure that you do that. So whenever you might need $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 for your business, you are able to walk into that bank with confidence and secure that money. Back to the schedule program. So we talked about Googling your names. We talked about that. We also talked about setting up your professional email. We talked about your business address. And now you're finally ready, dun, 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 to incorporate your business. Now, incorporate your business just means that you are ready to register with the Secretary of State. Now, we are in Connecticut, so I am going to go to the Secretary of Connecticut State website, and that is where I'm going to create an account to register my business. Now, if this is like beyond you, like, hey, I don't know how to do that, that's where someone like me comes in. I can do all that for you. But if you're like, nope, I know how to do it myself, I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to show you the steps that you can do to actually register your business online. One is going to the Secretary of State. You're going to create a username, right? Follow the sign-ins, and then you're going to pick register a business. Now, there are different entity types that you can choose from. Most common is the LLC, but there's an S Corp, there's a C Corp, there's partnerships, there's sole props. A lot of people go with the LLC, which is a limited liability company, because it offers you protection over your personal assets versus your business assets. And that is important. And it's not really hard to manage. When you get into the S Corps and the C Corps, there's a lot more paperwork and things that you need to do to manage them. So this is a little bit more advanced strategy. And I do recommend that you actually get some guidance from an attorney if that's the route that you do want to take. You want to make sure that you are making enough or projected to make enough money to actually handle a business of that nature, because it comes with a lot of fees, right? And when you're starting a business, the one thing a lot of us don't really have a lot to spend is money in the beginning. So I want you to think about that. So we're going to say we're registering an LLC, right? You're going to notice that they're going to ask you your personal information. They're going to ask you, what's your business address? Boom, I already secured my business address because I got that virtual workspace, right? You're going to put that address in. They're going to ask you, hey, do you have a business email? Boom, I already secured my business email because I got my professional email either through G Suite or Microsoft Office, right? You're going to put that in. Then they're going to ask you who's an officer of the business, which it may be just you, or maybe you're starting with a friend. You're going to put that information in. And then another thing they're going to ask you is about registered agent, which is just a fancy term for who is going to be legally responsible to accept legal documents, just in case, for instance, you were sued. They want somewhere that they can deliver those documents to during normal business hours. That can be yourself, or you can pay a third party to do that. If it is going to be yourself, that is absolutely fine. Make sure you put your business office details in there, not your personal address in there, because again, remember, it's public record, so be careful. And once you do that, you pay the fee. In the state of Connecticut, it costs $120 to register an LLC. You're going to pay the $120. It is a tax write-off, okay? So you save your receipts. Next day, boom, your business is up and running, and now you have officially registered your business. And you're going to take that document, and the next thing you're going to do, right, because now we're building the house, right? We set the foundation. Now I got to put some frames up. So the frames that we're putting up is that you're going to go get a tax ID from the IRS, which is an employer identification number, absolutely free to secure. So please do not go out there and pay anybody $1,000 to secure it. It's pretty much free. Easy application to go through. You go put your information in, and they'll give you your EIN right then and there. And you're going to take those two documents, the one that you got from the Secretary of State showing that you have a legal registered entity, and your tax ID number, and you are going to go to the bank. How fun. So you're going to go to the bank to open up a bank account. So I want you to understand this. If you register the business by yourself, you're absolutely okay to take those two documents that I just mentioned, the EIN and your registration paper with your ID, to the bank to go open your business account. If you registered with a partner, your partner may have to go with you, because at the end of the day, you guys have like a 50-50 share in the company. So you want to make sure that you both are present. Whoever is on that LLC with you is present at the time to go open that business bank account. Why do you want to do this immediately, like within the same week? The number one mistake that I see a lot of new entrepreneurs make is not opening a business bank account. Do you even have a business if you don't have a business bank account? You just have a hobby. You know, we got to do better. So go to the bank. I do recommend trying to do a community bank versus one of those big institutions. A big institution would be like those Bank of Americas, those Chase, those Wells Fargo. The reason why I say a community banks are more small business friendly. So when you're ready to go get lending that business credit card, they're able to actually look at you a little bit different, and they're more lenient. They want to help the businesses in their area, so they want to give you funding. So they're more than likely to fund you versus that big Bank of America, that big Chase. You know, it's all numbers to them. So if you're not bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, they're just kind of like side-eyeing you. Can you still get business credit from Chase, Bank of America? Absolutely, you can. Can you still open a bank account from them? Absolutely, you can. You just sometimes have to know what the fees are involved, because those accounts are not normally free. The key with the community banks, most of the time, those accounts are free. They don't charge a maintenance fee. So you want to make sure that you're asking these questions when you go into the bank. Is there a charge for this account? How much do I have to maintain in this account? And how much do I have to put in to open it? So make sure you do that research before you go into the bank. But you do not want to skip this step. It is very pivotal to you building a credible business. You have to have a business bank account. And moving on, after you do all that fun stuff, right? You're going to sign up for a DUNS number. So a DUNS number is a Duns & Bradstreet number, and it is usually like a 9-digit number that you get, and that is starting to help you start building business credit. It also allows you to apply for government loans, grants, and assistance. So if you want to be a government contractor, do business with the government, you will need, well, you know what? Let me take that back, because just recently, the government has done away with having the need to do the Duns & Bradstreet number to actually be a contractor of theirs. They assigned you a different number, but you still want to get it, because certain grants and loans do ask for a Duns & Bradstreet, and it is still attached to building business credit, so you still want to get it. Once you do that, right, and that's free to get, you're next going to make sure that you're complying with all state laws, licenses, and permits. So if I'm an esthetician, I need to make sure that I have the proper licenses to be an esthetician. If I am a plumber, I need to make sure I have the proper licenses to be a plumber. I can't just start my business and say, hey, I'm ready to take on clients if I don't have the proper state licenses. So please do not go out there and do that. The next thing that you want to do is you want to list your business with 411 and get a free Google space online, meaning that you can sign up on Google and list your business for free. So build a free Google profile. That's a step that a lot of people miss, because nowadays when you want to know something, what do? You go right to Google, right? So you want to make sure that you have that set up, that especially if you have something like let's say you're a videographer. You want to make sure that you have a link to your website, your email address, your telephone number, and then you can actually put in certain keywords that if somebody is searching for something in your area, that you show up first, because you're the only one that's ranking. So don't skip this step. Create a free Google business page for your business. It's very important. And then the next thing we're going to do is that we are ready. We are ready. We're just going to go out there, and now we're going to get maybe you had your first customer, maybe you didn't. You're going to go out there and try to get your first customer, right? You're going to go out there and start selling. Look at your business plan that you wrote. You know who you want to sell to. You know what services you're offering. Get your first customer. Get feedback from that customer, because again, you're still in your growing space, because when you're a new entrepreneur, between year one and two, you're considered brand spanking new. You're not considered seasoned until after you're 3 years or more. So think about that. In the first 2 years, it's a very high chance of your business not making it. But with following these steps that I gave you, it's a very high chance that your business will make it, because one, you set the foundation right. And because you have that foundation, there are a lot of resources, a lot of grants, a lot of help that are able to give to you, because they see that, hey, you have this business set up. It's just not a hobby. We want to see you succeed. At the end of the day, America is made up for employers. Like the backing, the resources, Everything is for employers. It favors the employers. Why? Because we create the jobs. So America wants your business to make it. That's why they have a ton of free resources. They give a ton of grants. But the reason why a lot of us don't get it is because we're missing these little steps, right? So we're not eligible. We don't qualify. Follow these steps, you will qualify. So I am going to backtrack again and talk about what we just talked about, because I went over a lot. It was a lot. I even lost track. But we talked about the vision, right? Doing your business plan. Doesn't have to be fancy. Don't overwhelm yourself. Use this to your advantage, right? If you're an artist, create art as your business plan. Whatever it is, just make sure it's yours. Next, you're going to make sure that you are setting the foundation right. So you're going to search your business name to make sure that nobody else is using your brand name before you go out there and say, hey, that's my brand. Right? So search your business name. Once you realize, okay, nobody has that, you're able to go now get a business address. Make sure you're using a virtual office space if you do not. I was going to say if you do not want to use your home address, but we're not using our home address, remember? So that's not an option. Make sure you get a virtual address. Then you're going to go get your email address, professional. I don't want to see bigbusiness@gmail.com, okay? We want to see bigbusiness@yourdomainname.com. And then from there, you're going to secure your online real estate. You're going to go and register your LLC. You're going to go get your EIN number. You're going to go to open your bank account. You're going to create your Google page for free. You're even going to list your business with 411. You want to make sure that people can find you. And then you're going to get your DUNS number, which is completely free. And then you're just going to go out there and make your first sale, right? First, second, third, you're just going to go out there and do business. Because now at this point, if you made a few sales, you have a baseline. You get customers' feedback. You hear, okay, do they like your product? Do they not? Are they buying it at this price point? Are they not? Are they complaining? Are they happy? Are they giving you feedback? Ask for feedback. A lot of times you need to ask for those testimonials, good or bad. Take it in the beginning, because at the end of the day, it's only going to help you get better. Ask for that feedback. Continue to grow your business. And when you find that you are at a standstill, maybe you need some help, reach out to all these resources that are available for you, right? There's a lot of mentorship out here because the government wants you to win. There's a lot. If you're in the state of Connecticut, actually in any state that you live in, there are government mentors that will mentor you for free. You can type in, let's see, how can you search it if you're not in Connecticut? I want to say if you go to sam.gov, that's where you can look at all the government contracts, right? That's where you can apply for government grant. So here we go. So if you are at a standstill in your business and you feel like you're not growing at the pace that you need to, and you just been stuck, you can actually type in Economic Development Council in your city or state and reach out to that office. They offer free resources for small business owners. Sometimes they have grants. They offer mentorships and different programs that you can tap into. So no matter the state that you reside in, there are those free resources that you can reach out. Economic Development Center or Council, type in that. And it should take you to your state's or citywide website where you can reach out to your local, even reaching out to your local mayor's office. A lot of times people forget these are public servants, right? They're there to serve you. So if you are struggling in something, never be afraid to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm a small business owner in your town. This is the name of my business. You know, I'm in need of some help growing my business, or I want to buy a vehicle for my business. Can you direct me to some services that you may have? They'll help you. That is their job. So I want to make sure that you understand that the goal is for your business to be successful. And again, America wants your business to be successful. I want your business to be successful. So that's why I do what I do, is by teaching you step by step how to actually just build a credible business, one brick at a time, right? Then you can go up and put the frame in. Then you can put the roof on. Then you can decorate. A lot of times we try to decorate a house that's not already built. So let's not do that. Let's make sure that we're doing it one step at a time and don't rush your process, right? It takes a lot of people 10 years to be an overnight success. Remember that. So again, my name is Rose. Let me know if you have any questions. You can find me at www.roseeffect.com, which is ROSEAFFECT.com. Let me know if you need any help, and I wish you the best luck. Thank you.